What's your favorite way to spend a weekend?
I enjoy hiking in the mountains and reading a good book.
How do you usually start your day?
I start my day with a cup of coffee and a short workout.
What kind of music do you like to listen to?
I enjoy listening to classical music while working.
Have you ever traveled to another country?
Yes, I have visited Japan and loved the cultural experience.
What's your go-to method for relieving stress?
I like to practice yoga and go for long walks.
What's the best book you've read recently?
Recently, I read Educated by Tara Westover, and it was very inspiring.
Do you prefer watching movies at home or in the theater?
I prefer watching movies at home for comfort and convenience.
How do you handle difficult situations at work?
I stay calm and try to find a solution by discussing it with my team.
What's something new you've learned recently?
I recently learned how to cook Thai cuisine, which has been exciting.
Do you have any pets? If so, tell me about them.
Yes, I have a cat named Whiskers who loves to play and cuddle.
How do you usually celebrate your birthday?
I like to have a small gathering with close friends and family.
What's one goal you're currently working towards?
I'm working towards running a marathon by the end of the year.
How do you stay motivated to achieve your goals?
I set small milestones and reward myself for achieving them.
What's the most interesting place you've visited?
The most interesting place I've visited is Machu Picchu in Peru.
How do you like to spend your free time?
I enjoy gardening and experimenting with new recipes.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've received is to always stay curious and never stop learning.
How do you balance work and personal life?
I make sure to set clear boundaries and schedule time for both work and relaxation.
What's one skill you'd like to learn?
I'd like to learn how to play the guitar.
Do you prefer cooking at home or dining out?
I prefer cooking at home because I enjoy experimenting with different recipes.
What's the most challenging thing you've ever done?
The most challenging thing I've done was climbing a mountain during a trekking expedition.
How do you usually keep in touch with friends and family?
I keep in touch through social media, phone calls, and occasional visits.
What's a hobby you've always wanted to try?
I've always wanted to try pottery and make my own ceramics.
How do you deal with procrastination?
I break tasks into smaller steps and use a to-do list to stay organized.
What's your favorite way to relax after a long day?
I like to unwind by watching a good movie and having a warm bath.
What's a recent project or task you're proud of?
I'm proud of organizing a community event that brought people together.
How do you like to stay active?
I enjoy jogging in the park and taking fitness classes.
What's one thing you'd like to change about your daily routine?
I'd like to include more time for reading in my daily routine.
How do you handle conflicts with others?
I try to approach conflicts with an open mind and seek to understand the other person's perspective.
What's a memorable event from your childhood?
A memorable event was going on a family road trip across the country.
How do you stay informed about current events?
I stay informed by reading news articles online and watching news broadcasts.
What's your preferred method of learning new information?
I prefer learning through hands-on experience and practical application.
How do you approach problem solving?
I analyze the problem, brainstorm possible solutions, and choose the most effective one.
What's a favorite local spot you like to visit?
I enjoy visiting the local park for a peaceful stroll.
How do you manage your time effectively?
I use a planner to schedule tasks and set priorities for the day.
What's something you're currently reading or watching?
I'm currently reading The Midnight Library and watching a documentary series on nature.
How do you stay organized in your daily life?
I use digital tools and keep a tidy workspace to stay organized.
What's one thing you wish you knew more about?
I wish I knew more about financial planning and investing.
How do you celebrate achievements or milestones?
I celebrate by treating myself to something special or sharing the moment with loved ones.
What's a recent trend you've noticed in your area?
I've noticed a growing trend towards sustainable living and eco-friendly products.
How do you maintain a healthy lifestyle?
I maintain a healthy lifestyle by eating balanced meals and exercising regularly.
What's something you've always wanted to achieve?
I've always wanted to write and publish a book.
How do you deal with negative feedback?
I take it as constructive criticism and use it to improve my skills.
What's a skill you admire in others?
I admire the skill of effective communication and the ability to connect with people.
How do you stay connected with your culture or heritage?
I stay connected by participating in cultural events and learning about traditions.
What's a goal you've set for the near future?
I've set a goal to complete a personal development course in the next few months.
How do you prioritize tasks when you have multiple deadlines?
I prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance and tackle them one at a time.
What's a recent challenge you've overcome?
I recently overcame the challenge of public speaking by practicing regularly.
How do you celebrate small wins?
I celebrate small wins by acknowledging them and rewarding myself in a small way.
What's a recent hobby you've picked up?
I've picked up gardening as a new hobby and find it very relaxing.
How do you manage your finances?
I manage my finances by budgeting and tracking expenses using a financial app.
What's a place you'd like to visit in the future?
I'd like to visit Iceland to see the northern lights.
How do you deal with a busy schedule?
I use time management techniques and prioritize important tasks.
What's one thing you've learned from a recent experience?
I've learned the importance of adaptability in changing situations.
How do you stay positive during challenging times?
I focus on the positives, practice gratitude, and seek support from friends and family.
What's a recent discovery you've made about yourself?
I've discovered that I'm more resilient than I initially thought.
How do you approach learning from mistakes?
I reflect on what went wrong, learn from the experience, and try to improve.
What's a tradition or ritual that's important to you?
An important tradition for me is having a family dinner every Sunday.
How do you ensure you get enough rest and relaxation?
I make time for relaxation by setting aside moments for self-care and winding down.
What's a new experience you'd like to try?
I'd like to try skydiving for the thrill and adventure.
How do you handle financial challenges?
I address financial challenges by reviewing my budget and seeking advice if needed.
What's something you wish you had more time for?
I wish I had more time for pursuing creative projects and hobbies.
How do you maintain a work-life balance?
I set clear boundaries between work and personal life and make time for both.